Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. We are back into Dota Pit League Season 3. It is, of course, the playoffs. Cloud9 versus
10
HellRaisers.
seconds remaining.
I'm so excited to be joining you guys here for Dota Pit League Season 3.
5 seconds remaining.
The lower bracket, round 3. Cloud9 versus HellRaisers coming in,
Reserve
of course.
time.
I'm actually having some issues. Hold on a second. All right, fix. My co-broadcasters were not muted.
Cloud9's
That was a problem.
turn to ban.
Anyways, we are sorry for the wait, guys. My deepest, sincerest apologies. We had some issues with the Steam servers, and first it was Fata who couldn't connect, then it was
Radiant
goddamn we had to
team
wait
ban.
for an hour. I know you guys have been waiting patiently. I'm so sorry, but we are finally into this game, this best of 3 series, now getting underway. Cloud9 versus HellRaisers. The winner of this series will move on. Loser of this best of 3 will go home, and there's a lot at stake. Winner of this series gets into the money. That's the most important thing. And obviously, Cloud9, they've had some rough patches, especially coming back from ESL Frankfurt. They've been playing a new style of Dota. HellRaisers, we haven't seen a lot of them recently, but we're going to get into the draft here, boys. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we've got production brought to you by Pimp Munkle. We've got stats brought to you by Mott Packs. I'll be bringing you the cast. My name's Mott, and alongside me today, as always, my good friend Trout. How are you, man?
Team pick.
I'm doing good. This is finally underway. I'm feeling good. Excited to watch some Dota. But yeah, doing good, man.
I am so excited. It's been a while since we cast Dota Pit. It feels like we have like these periods where we cast like a couple games, then we have to wait for like a month and a half or 2 months or however long we've been waiting. Tournament's been it's been needing to be get done, and finally we are getting in here in the lowers bracket, losers bracket, round 3, and of course, like I said, this is a big matchup. So HellRaisers the definite underdog. Cloud9 obviously they've played some solid top tier teams. They've lost a lot of their games recently, but they're still a heavy favorite here by a wide margin. They go for the IO Gyrocopter to start things off here, which is interesting. We've seen Envy play a lot of Queen of Pain as well as Razor, which is kind of it's an odd thing. He's been, I think, most notable for his hard carry play with Naga Siren. You know, we've seen that even, you know, back at the Summit 3, Phantom Lancer as well. But they've switched styles up here, and you know, in the recent tournaments, especially ESL Frankfurt, they've done a lot of Razor for him. So it's interesting to see if this Gyrocopter is going to be played by Envy. I would not be surprised by that.
Cloud9's also one of the teams that I've seen them run mid Gyrocopter more than others. I don't think they will here, but I have seen Fata play that before. I think right when he joined the team, actually, I saw him playing a lot of mid gyro. This is way before he got popularized in the last patch, but interesting things at least here early with the Wisp and then the gyro. I find it a little interesting. I'm saying that just because I know how good Envy is with Tiny, specifically with Wisp.
Yeah.
Even sometimes not with Wisp, where he just goes for the blink and just runs around. I love that build, by the way. I think it's a really good build. But I actually think that maybe Winter Wyvern is such a standout pick against the Wisp.
Yeah.
That if you think about it, it's really good, especially against Wisp Tiny, because when you ult, when you use the what's it called, Winter's Curse,
yeah.
on Wisp, Tiny basically kills him. Like you don't want to use it on the Tiny, you want to use it on whoever is around the Tiny, namely the Wisp, and then Tiny just kills him so fast. I don't think Gyro kills his ally as fast as Tiny.
No.
So I wonder if Cloud9 is thinking, all right, well, they're probably going to pick Wyvern. Let's pick something that doesn't, get countered too heavily by the Winter's Curse.
I don't know if that's a good pickup, though. I think,
of course it is.
I mean, like anytime you have an IO, just the threat of that Winter's Curse, it's getting locked down, not being able to relocate out. That's the biggest thing, I think. And like you mentioned, killing your ally, but obviously with a Gyrocopter, you don't have that right-click damage that Tiny provides. That guy is a goddamn just giant piece of rock. He goes to work, so it's not super surprising that they go for the Winter Wyvern. It looks like Cloud9 have a way to combat this. They have a Shadow Fiend now as well, which is kind of interesting. That's more right-click going, gets the IO if they do get that Winter's Curse off. This is something we've seen, I wouldn't say a lot less of. We still see our fair share of Shadow Fiend pickups, but we've seen other mid heroes be more prominent, I think, in this patch. However, Shadow Fiend's still very, very good, and Fox one of the best to play it, I think, in this situation.
I think until Shadow Fiend gets nerfed, even if he might not, we'll see until TI5. I think it's the premier mid hero in general. I really do. I think this hero is just a little bit too strong right now, especially on Radiant. Now he is on Dire, which is a little weaker for Shadow Fiend because it's a little bit easier to gank the Dire mid lane. You don't have as quick of a rotation into the jungle as you do on Radiant. But that being said, he does have a Wisp helping him out. So if he gets in trouble from a strong mid laner, or if he gets ganked, he has a Wisp to maybe bail him out with the overcharge bottle. Wisp is, I presume, going to be stacking a lot for him too. So it kind of remedies the fact that he's on Dire and not on Radiant. But
the question
regardless,
for me is, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, regardless whether it's Dire or Radiant, I'm still on the boat that Shadow
remaining.
Fiend's like the best mid hero. I really feel that way. Maybe not best mid laner,
5
but in
seconds
general, like
remaining.
one of the best mid heroes in the game.
I feel like he's been overshadowed by Queen of Pain a lot this
Reserve
patch,
time.
among other things, like Lena as well. We've seen a lot of different heroes, but he certainly is still up there, at least for me, and obviously just what he brings to the table. The question for me is, what is he going to be going for? Is he going to be getting that early mech? Is he going to be going for an early BKB? Maybe go for a completely different build? We never see the Yules build anymore. I don't want to say never, but I don't see it like at all with Shadow Fiends nowadays.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a game by game situation. It just really depends. Like, for instance, maybe if there's a Spirit Breaker in the game, then I would probably want to get Yules maybe a little bit more. Quap, if you're up against a Quap, I would say go for Yules because, or maybe even a Storm Spirit because you can have that, you can threaten them with that one-hit combo, so to speak. It just is a game by game kind of situation.
Right.
The typical build is just mech and then go push, just because when you get a nice early start on Shadow Fiend and you buy the mech, you already have damage innately just because of the skill list you have. So you're hitting really hard. Your races do more damage than any of the nukes just because you have 3 of them and they all hit really hard. So you just do so much damage, and then you have the healing capabilities of mech. He can still go mech here. Yes, you're up against an ancient apparition, but I don't think that should completely deter you from going for the mech. It's fantastic with the IO,
remaining.
of course, as long as you don't have a ancient apparition that has like a 15-minute axe. I think you're gonna be okay.
Oh, that shouldn't happen, but we've seen crazier things before. The one thing I will point out is that HellRaisers are playing with 2 stand-ins after they lost a couple of their players, unfortunately. So they're definitely, like I said, they were the underdogs before they came into this matchup, but now that they're with stand-ins as well, it's even going to be harder for them as we progress through the match. Well, maybe we see something crazy coming out. They have a puck that's going to be trying to, tempo control as best as possible. Darkseer maybe with some huge vacuum walls. They have some wombo combo potential. It comes down to what they're going to last pick here as probably their safe lane carry. They have the puck mid, Darkseer off lane, Wyvern, Ancient Apparition, support duo. What will they pick for their carry is the question.
It looks like probably like a super hard carry. Like they have really strong laners in AA and Winter Wyvern.
5 seconds.
I can't imagine anyone can contest that lane. Oh, it's gonna be Huskar.
All right. Your HellRaisers might as well go all in. They go for the Huskar. This isn't as surprising a pick as it once was, but it's fun to watch nonetheless.
It's really good against Phoenix Egg. Like the Phoenix Egg is going to be extremely hard to get off until he's like level 16, and even then, I don't even know if Huskar has really low HP. So their physical damage it's okay with Shadow Fiend. It's not that great with Gyro until it's very much later. So
10 seconds.
we'll see.
Remaining.
I mean, Huskar can easily take over the game if he has a good start.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be too difficult for him. I think they won't be able to really. I mean, he should be in the safe lane. We'll have the Ancient Apparition and the Winter Wyvern to help him out as well. He'll be able to rotate pretty early on if he needs to. Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be maybe a bit of a rough early game for Cloud9. You talk about levels for Phoenix. That's a big thing. And that's Phoenix is often suffer because they just can't get those levels early on in the game. However, Cloud9 has played with the Phoenix a lot, Bone 7 in particular. We've seen EG and Universe play it in ESL as well. We've seen some excellent eggs, but as you mentioned, Huskar pretty good against that. Still, though, there's one more pick for Cloud9 here. Probably going to be support, IO, and then whatever they want to go for as well. Maybe some dual lanes. We'll see if they decide to go for that. Probably just going to go for, I think, a tri-lane with Gyrocopter, IO, another hero, and then Shadow Fiend mid. They could do a dual lane mid, but I doubt it, so their last pick's coming out here in just a second.
Remaining.
Yep, and they only have about 5 seconds. Rubik is going to be the last pick, so as their other support, which is pretty good. I mean, it's good against the Darkseer in lane. You can lift him and stop his surge. It's good against Puck. You get an instant cast disable to initiate onto him, but they don't really have any real hard stuns outside of the Rubik, and that's not even a real stun. I mean, I guess it is. It cancels TPs and whatnot, so. But I'm really interested to see how this Huskar is going to do. I think he's going to do quite well, honestly. I don't think there's any real way to lock him down. There's no, like, blatantly obvious right-click damage that's coming out, like I said, except for maybe the Shadow Fiend. But he's not going to hit very fast at the beginning, and that's what you really need. A hard hitter and, like, very fast damage. So we'll see. The only thing that's a little bit curious to me is that they have all ranged heroes with a Darkseer. typically you want to have at least some kind of melee hero with Darkseer to benefit from the Ion
remaining.
Shell a little bit. But outside of the Ion Shell damage, you do have some potential for a wombo combo with the Darkseer Puck. That can be very, very devastating if Darkseer gets farmed.
The interesting thing to me is you mentioned this earlier on Cloud9's side is that they have not much lockdown. HellRaisers, until they hit level 6 on a couple of their heroes, it's the same for them. You look at Puck with Dream Coil, Winter Wyvern with Winter's Curse. They have a slow coming out from the Huskar ultimate as well, but they could still get kited as well, even with the Huskar. Like, they could get, there's obviously on the other side, Phoenix has the Icarus dive, the Io tether to get out if necessary. Maybe not so much for the Shadow Fiend or the Gyrocopter, but they could get relocated out as well. Rubik might have some issues. So there is that potential to get kited. They don't have as much lockdown for HellRaisers, but that might not be a problem. We'll have to wait and see. They're going to be aggressive here for Cloud9. They're going to head into the enemy jungle, just looking to maybe ward up real quick, as well as just take over the jungle and maybe even try to get in a fight here. I don't know what they want to go for. They get the ward down, and that's going to be it for now. So just some contentious play from Cloud9 so far.
And they're going to go aggro. I think this is probably the right decision. I don't think that you can just go willy-nilly about your lanes and let Huskar get free farm, because I do grant you that, yes, HR don't have really any disables either, but I think it's more important to the side of C9 that they have disables against Huskar rather than HR having disables against, I don't know, Shadow Fiend or whatever.
Right.
I think they'll be okay without the disables, whereas I think Cloud9, they need to win the laning phase to make sure Huskar doesn't get as much farm. Lone 7 taking some damage up top. It's going to be a 2-3 split as far as the bounty runes go. Fata will get the top rune, and then Puck will get the bottom.
And Dred's actually just running at Fata, but he went Ion Shell first. Doesn't have that surge. He's actually taking a lot of damage. There's the raise. The second one will miss. It wouldn't be enough to get the kill anyways. Bone 7 could have chased him down, but with no Icarus dive, Dred should be able to get out just fine here. And HellRaisers look like they don't know where they're going just yet. They leave just a noob down bottom by himself for now. This aggressive tri-lane, I was concerned that C9, I don't know what they would be able to do here. They're actually just going to dual lane mid for now. They have the Io with Fata. Very interesting. Arman's going to be here as well with Athma Ninja. They throw up the Arctic Burn. No Tail taking some heavy damage. He's saving up for that bottle, and he'll have it soon, but not quite yet.
There was 2 uphill misses there from RMN. I think that Wisp would have been really, really close to dying if he hit both of those attacks. Anyway, it's going to be kind of dual lane setups here. So, Goddamn and Just a Noob. Bottom lane. Oh, I look away for a second. And Puck gets the first blow, but he actually dies in the process. But, yeah.
Came through. I think he used the orb. Was able to get the kill. And I didn't catch it either. I looked away for half a second as you did. We got it. It's all good. So, that's first blood. And, of course, they do trade the kill. Fata does end up getting the rebuttal kill, which helps him get towards maybe that bottle, whatever he's going for next week. He has the bottle coming out on the courier now. Now, bottom lane, they Arman and Misery are just going to go a little bit toe-to-toe here. He does have the Arctic Burn. Misery has the telekinesis as well. Tether comes through. Here comes Envy diving behind the tower. Just Anub is like, give me that just beautiful, delicious Io. They're not going to be able to grab him, though. Arman getting turned on. Last right click. They can't find it. Rock Brush going to work. Goddamn in trouble. Everybody's low. They finally get the kill with the flat cannon. Faithful going goddamn, staying alive just for a moment. He'll end up falling, and then Cloud9 with an easy dive. They get a double kill for Envy. They're already putting pressure on the tower. TP back in. They want to kill. It's canceled. It was canceled. They decided not to go for it. They didn't want to get dove again. And Justin Noob does get back in the lane.
I think the decision to go aggro is very, very smart from Cloud9. Envy is trying to run away. I think he should be fine. Even without boots, he runs really, really fast at 350 movement speed. But like Huskar is very, very scary with farm, especially against this lineup. But he's actually a bit overrated in lane. Like, he doesn't really do that much without levels early on, and his damage with Burning Spears is pretty negligible early levels. So I think it's really, really smart from Cloud9 to go aggro. Yes, Winter Wyvern is very, very scary, but he started out in the mid, so he wasn't, like, essentially all the way there. Big Daddy No Tail taking a little bit of damage. He's just going to tether away and be fine.
Yeah, that last right click doing a decent chunk of damage, but he will survive, sitting at 70-some-odd HP now. He gets his bottle as well, so he'll be able to regen up. This, like you were mentioning, Huskar is going to have a rough time. Laning phase, this doesn't look good. This looks pretty ugly coming over HellRaisers. He's not getting anything in terms of farming. He has 5 CS. It's not that bad, but already dying once to the Gyrocopter. He doesn't really care right now about the Berserker's Blood. It's only level 1. It only gives you 4% bonus resistance, which is, I guess, isn't that bad, but still, if you're low enough, you're going to die early on in the game.
Yeah, and what you really want to do is rush the armlet too, but I think he needs boots in this kind of lane.
Yeah.
Like, the gyro is just so damn fast, especially once he gets boots. It's going to be like 365 movement speed. Here comes the lift coming out.
That was a
Here
max
comes the
range
damage.
lift.
Now it's getting split up against the creeps. He might still go down. It's going to be close. He will salve up and be okay.
Good salve. Armin coming back in, takes a bit of the rocket barrage. The creeps being a nuisance. Mystery got like a max range telekinesis. Like, this is going to be a kill. Not quite mid lane. Fata going to go down to Ninja, getting a bit too aggressive. Gets off the orb and the waning rift. Fata overextending and dying. That's going to be a nice pickup for Ninja. So at least they've got that going for them mid. But bottom lane is still just disastrous here for HellRaisers.
Yeah, well, I think they're doing well in the other two lanes. So Ninja just picked up a kill. Solo kill at that. Top lane, Dread's up to 23 CS compared to 17. He's back laning as he should be. If they can stop the bleeding and not, like, you know, trade 1 for 3 or 0 for 3 again in the bottom lane, I think they'll be okay. They just need to buy time for Huskar to get an armlet somehow.
Yeah, but
maybe Puck hits 6 and rotates down there. That's probably the best time that you can look for here for HR.
The thing is, even if they give some space to Huskar, it doesn't farm particularly fast, I don't think. Misery gonna get caught out. Arctic Burn, good tether move speed coming through. They have the Ice Vortex on the ground as well, but Misery's still hightailing it out of there with no tail connected. And Dread is going to go down to the Dire. I don't know what happened there. He was diving Bone 7. Looks like he took some tower damage, then just died. He tried to get away.
Nice.
That could work. I don't know what happened there, but excellent stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, I wasn't watching. That's kind of interesting. Anyway.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta die to creeps, I guess. I'm assuming that him and Bone 7 went toe-to-toe, and he didn't get the better end of it, but at least he died to creeps, so. I don't know, man. This game's already pretty crazy. It's 5-2, so. Like, Bata died mid against a Puck solo, which is weird. And you have bottom lane, which is just a shit show, if you will. Top lane, Bone 7's gonna Icarus dive and TP away, as Dread finally got back up there, and...
I feel like Phoenix is doing very, very well in the top lane, actually. I thought this was going to be a much higher discrepancy, but Bone 7 still finding CS despite the creeps being under his tower almost all the time, which can be difficult. It's not like he really hits that hard anyway. And he's actually going to be the first to rotate on the side of Cloud9, or I should say in the game. As he's coming bottom, he does have his Supernova up and ready to go. If he hits him with a Fire Spirit, it's like an easy 3 for nothing. They are going to dive now.
Just going in. Yeah, there's going to be a telekinesis. Going to be onto just Anoop. He doesn't get the stun off. Misery getting chased down. Here comes the Supernova. Dream Crawl comes in. They lose Big Daddy No-Tail. Ninja gets down there in time. Bone 7's going to fall as well. Turns into a 3 for 3 as across the board. They actually lost Darkseer elsewhere. Then Envy goes down to that bottom lane. HellRaisers turn it around. It is 4 for 3. That was looking beautiful for Cloud9. And then all of a sudden, Ninja rotates down, kills the IO, and that turns things around. And
it really should have been a 4 for 2, but I think Fata was running up towards top or had a rune or something, but got the kill on the Darkseer yet again.
Yes, yep.
So regardless of that kill, it was a fantastic exchange in favor of HR, and that's what they needed. So the rotation from the Phoenix seemed okay, but even at level 5, and well, I should say level 1 Berserker's Blood, that Huskar still attacks quite quickly.
Yes.
Or quite fast, I should say, when he's low, and that egg just did nothing.
Level 1 Supernova is ass, man, let's be honest here.
It's just very, very underwhelming.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. Misery's taking a lot of damage here from Ninja with a double damage rune. Last right click, they can't get it off. Here comes the Icarus dive, some Flame Spirits as well. Ninja raise up, and he will phase shift. Still taking damage. Last right click, they get the kill with the Fire Spirits. Bone 7 coming in. Rotations everywhere. Shenanigans happening all across the map. And Cloud9 do get the kill onto the Puck, who's a little too far forward.
Did we know Ninja's most played hero is SF with 34 games? Fata's is Puck. No, okay. It's a little bit of role reversal here.
Yeah. Odd, but still, this game has been odd in general. Listen, it's been an odd day. We waited an hour to get into the game, guys. So, this is to be expected, I suppose. It is 6-9 currently. HellRaisers, they're still looking for farm here for this Huskar. And he actually has gotten some room to work with. And the kills bottom certainly helped out. Treads and now the Helm of Iron Will. It's not the greatest, but he's getting room, and that's the best thing you can ask for here with the early start he had.
Oh, he's doing much better than he obviously was. Triple kill really, really helped. They've pushed them out of the bottom lane. RMN taking some damage. He's going to have to just TP out, but nobody gets lifted. Maybe he can use his first spell. He uses his Cold Embrace to heal himself, so the physical damage will not really be there, but he still dies. So, fortunate for him, he's fed off a couple. But they have pushed them out of the bottom lane, which I think is the most important thing.
Yeah.
They need to get this Huskar farm. If you look at their lineup, they're not going to really win without him getting a good start, right? I mean, maybe Puck can take over a game, which Ninja could possibly do. But his CS is only at 27. It's not like he's really farming that much.
I think it comes down to the Puck and the Darkseer together, man. Like, you talked about that Wamba combo earlier. They have that potential. Darkseer is up to level 8, which is not bad. just make more room for the Huskar with these two heroes. FNJ's had a great game so far, and I think a lot of people would agree that he's probably the best player on HR. At least that's what I would say, but he's already making space, and he's going to have to just get back.
I've actually always been really impressed by Dread.
Yeah.
He hasn't had that great of a game so far, but I think in general he's probably impressed me the most. But yeah, if HellRaisers, I think he's the one that plays Tinker, right?
Yeah, that was the game we saw earlier, way earlier. That was like the beginning of the season.
It was Tinker. It was HR versus Secret.
Yes.
And he came back with a Yule's Tinker, and I'll never forget that game. That was a really memorable game.
I always wonder why no one picked up, Yule's Tinker after that game, because that was just such an impressive display. There was a bit of throws from Secret for sure in that game, but FNJ has been very impressive throughout this entire season. I mean, they're in the playoffs, and no one would have given them a chance here. They take this series, they move on, they're in the money. We'll have to wait and see. They're currently in not the biggest predicament, but they're still behind here as Cloud9 started to play some aggressive wards. Misery gets one here up on the Uber Cliff, which is well done. He's actually just going to rotate mid, sees FNJ. Tower's kind of low, but they're not pushing in yet. Bone7's taking up the jungle. He's actually got 2,000 gold. Not going for that Midas that we see pretty often. Maybe just going to go for a Blink Dagger, which we see more and more now on Phoenixes. We'll see if he goes for that.
I think the slower pace of the game is...
Alright.
It kind of works both ways. Like, Shadow Fiend can get tons of farm, which is great, but I think that AA needs a lane. Like, they need to get an armlet onto the Huskar, and I think he needs to go do stuff, and AA needs to get his level 6. Speaking of AA, he's very, very slow. He's taking some damage from Envy, which invaded his jungle a little bit. But, if AA gets 6, then the healing from the IO is not really going to be that effective. The Roshan potential diminishes completely because of one AA blast. So I think his levels are extremely important here.
Conversely, the IO, who also needs levels, is not getting the most out of this lane or just roaming around. His experience, he's level 4. Misery is level 6, so they've got the spell steal to go for them. And we haven't even begun to see the potential of Cloud9 with relocate coming through. So I'm excited to see what they can do. They're just kind of, like you said, invading the jungle. Goddamn, and Justinoob actually just walk back to their tier 2 tower. They do not feel safe down bottom. That is very clear. And they'll instead get a lot of room to work with up top. RMN will jungle with the Iron Shell on top of him. FNJ's going to rotate in as well. Trying to get to that Blink Dagger. They'll surge away the Darkseer. So where we're at now is Envy is still farming pretty well. They gave a bit of room to Justinoob. Now he's going to jungle up here.
Is under attack.
I feel like maybe Huskar is going to hit more of a peak early on than Envy will. Because of the Berserker's Blood, because of the armlet, he'll be able to fight a little bit heavier. And I don't know. Maybe it comes down to how Fata plays here. Speaking of Fata, oh, all right, he has him in his room. Just kidding. He's not getting jumped on.
Yep, and he's farming well. He's pretty close to his mech. He's actually going to walk upwards. He might even break the smoke of these two heroes there. I think they're actually trying to dodge. Oh, now they see him, but he's invis. So they know he's here, which really, really sucks. They're not going to be able to do anything with this smoke. And they're spotted out. Dread's running around. Here comes possibly some damage from SF. There's the wall.
Just saying, Dread, you're alone, man. He went for it all.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There was only one hero there when he started that wall, and then 3 others rotated in, and they got an easy kill. And the wall's down, but they're going to go in. Supernova gets off just in time. Justinoob doesn't have much Berserker Blood stacks, but it doesn't matter. That is level 1 Supernova, and it's when there's 3 heroes nearby, and you don't get the Flame Spirits off, it's just not great.
That was really weird. So he missed all of his spells on Puck, and then they just used the Supernova without getting the Fire Spirits down. The Supernova, first of all, level 1, as you mentioned, is just pretty awful, but Supernova without Fire Spirits on heroes is just even worse. So, unfortunate he had to use that there. He was off a freebie. Dread, TP's top. He's making his way towards his mech as well, but he's died 3 times, which is obviously a little hard to deal with. But this, I think, is the most important thing. Goddamn is now free farming in the bottom lane. And until he gets... Oh, this could be really, really bad. They don't have a lane ward for him. I think Phoenix is going to get a free kill down here.
He is... got no idea. He's so close to level 6. Oh, is he going to back up now? No. Fire Spirits are about to come out, and yeah, this is going to be an Icarus dive coming through. He'll try to TP away. Will he make it? No, the last right click from Bone7 comes through. Oh, that was very close. Nice play, but he doesn't get out with a TP. Speaking of mech, by the way, you talked about the one for the Darkseer. Fata has his, and this is what you were talking about earlier. On the other side, FNJ just blows up Io and gets the courier. That provides him his Blink Dagger. That's huge.
That's so big. The very timely DD. He also has coil up in 1 second.
Oh, does he say go for it? He doesn't see him. He doesn't see him.
Oh, nighttime. That would have been so big. Oh, unfortunate. But obviously the exchange is phenomenal for him. As Fata TP's mid, he does have mech. He already used it though. He
We've got a
just
fight
used it,
brewing here, man.
actually.
We have a fight brewing,
Dyer's top
potentially.
tower is
Everyone's
under
coming in
attack.
from the top rune spot / jungle from the side of HellRaisers. Wall should be back up now. Envy does have a hell of a Dominator. Even brings up his Alpha Wolf. Just an extra damage. Meanwhile, they jump in. They'll find Bone 7. Justin chasing after him. Dream Coil comes in. And the wall vacuum comes out. They stole it, though. But there's the Winner's Curse. Envy, the only one here. The Arc Bird comes out. The Splitter Blast as well. Gets the call down. Dread's gonna hightail it out of here. The call down. And Rock Barrage Flat Cannon doing too much damage. Dread gonna run back in. Fata has Mecha 20. Long range jump. Ice Blast gonna miss. There's that secondary Requiem. Envy solo. Uphill miss. Not enough damage. Didn't miss, but here he comes. Looking for the kill. Face Shift comes out. After NJ gets it done. Chasing after Misery. Won't be able to find him, but HellRaisers do take that fight in the end. Although they do lose their tier 1 tower.
I wish I could go back, but I feel like when Fata TP mid, he like, I don't know if he accidentally used mech or if he purposely used it, but they were all like full HP and they were still fighting with the mech on cooldown. It's got a very long cooldown now, 65 seconds. And they still continued that fight and wasn't able to use it throughout that, so I think that makes a big, I think that's a big deal, honestly. On a hero that's your biggest item, it's like over 2,000 gold, you just purchased it and then you're trying to fight 5v5 and you don't have it available. I think it's a bit of a mistake, but nonetheless, HR with that fresh blink dagger on Puck making a big fight.
That was also a wall steal as well, and that provided a bit of damage coming through on top of the call down. Envy almost turned that fight around, but
it was a nice call down, yes.
Yeah. So, all right, where are we at? 11 to 13. We look at the graphs real quick. HellRaisers have a very slight, if at all, advantage in terms of net worth, and then experience it is only 2,000. Which is pretty good. They're going to head bottom. Bone 7 does have a supernova, but still, it is only level 1. He's close to that level 11. He wants it. Oh, just didn't see him. The nighttime vision again. And Bone 7 will Icarus dive TP away. I'll let you survive.
I think we need some moon shards here on some of these players.
God.
So they can find these ganks a little bit easier in nighttime. It's killing them.
Yeah.
Anyway, D-Ward coming out here from RMN. No uphill misses anymore, thank God. Hashtag support life is now free. That was the most annoying thing ever, by the way. Playing Crystal Maiden attacking an uphill ward was just the worst.
The worst thing ever. Not
anyway, Justin Anoob, he is doing very, very good for himself now. The typical build here for Huskar after this I've seen is, obviously you get the lifesteal, you can do Roshan extremely easily, you stay in the fights especially in this game, you stay in the fights forever because there's really no hard lockdown other than the Rubik. That's about it. Here comes the AA Blast just to be annoying. And the Puck too with the coil. Some damage coming out. Is it enough to actually shatter him? I think so.
It's going to be close. This last tick, is it going to be enough? It will be! Oh man, that was the closest it could have possibly been. He dies to the last tick. How unfortunate.
Oh boy, what a gank. Just very, very close, but he still gets it. Did they notice that Rubik is up here?
I don't think so.
That's close. Anyway, they're going to push bottom at the same time. They're spreading the map a little bit better side of HR. And finally, it's daytime. The ganks do get a little bit easier. Although it goes both ways because it means you can see a little bit further away too. So
IO does hit level 6, so Hotel's got that going for him. They haven't used the relocate gank yet. Obviously, with him just hitting that level 6. They're going to smoke up instead. They're going to head towards the bottom jungle, and Justin Noob could be food for them. It's going to be 3 heroes down here. They should be able to kill him with all this damage, but is he going to walk away from this? Looks like he might. They're relocating. They know where he is. They're going to relocate and jump right on top of him. They can't quite get there, though. Relocate a little too far back. Winner's Curse comes out. No Tail gets blown up by Fata. They jump in on the Phoenix. He can't get his egg off. Armin can't TP away. Envy did cancel with a homing missile, but still, they're coming in. They're coming in hot on the side of HellRaisers. Now they're going to use the Arctic Bird. Jump in. Puck, phase shift. That comes through from Fata. They're trying to fight this. This isn't going to work out. Cloud9. Fata will fall. 4 dead. Misery hightailing it out of there with a surge that he stole. Luckily enough, he's the only one to survive in that slaughter. HellRaisers take it 4 for 1. They're actually gonna find Misery. After NJ jumps in and gets a double kill. Oh, this is turning disastrously for Cloud9.
Okay, forget what I said about the, not drafting Tiny because of the Wyvern potential pit coming out, because that Shadow Fiend just destroyed the Wisp. This is why this hero is so good against Wisp, because if you have any kind of damage, right-clicking damage dealer on your team, whether it be Tiny, or this case is a Shadow Fiend, it just absolutely destroys them. Not only does it kill them, but it takes up two heroes. Like, it wastes 2 of the heroes at a time. It locks 2 heroes down in one spell. It's an amazing spell. One of the best ults in the game, honestly. Especially for a Wisp, Wisp duo. So, fantastic stuff there from the Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, that was the best possible way to start things off. I'm surprised that Cloud9 didn't just retreat in full force, but maybe they realized they had no other option. I'm not sure, man. Like, it looked like they just kind of committed to that fight, and they were going to lose that regardless of what happened.
It makes me wonder if instead of first overall picking the Wisp, you just take it second, because you get first pick, then they take 2, and then if you take the Wisp next, then it gives you an easy chance to ban out the Wyvern in the second phase.
Yes.
But if you take it first, then they have 2 options to do so. EE taking some damage. He does get hit by the Ice Blast yet again. Very easy pickoff.
That was without the digging that Affinity just picked up, by the way. This guy's having a heck of a game. Oh my god.
I mean, the AA's hit 6, and he's pretty much hit all his Ice Blasts, so credit to Goddamn as well.
Yeah. I forget what they meant the switch, but Dread is now playing the 3 role instead of support. He's gonna find...
Wall back in mid.
He wants it. He really does. And they're getting close. No tail. Oh. I know someone's here, but they're gonna jump it. There's the vacuum. There's the wall. Botsa. They get the supernova off. Botsa's gonna mech up. Dread getting low, but not dead yet. Stays alive once more with a sick charge, and Justin finishes off the supernova. Now they find Misery as well. Another beautiful Ice Blast from Goddamn. He'll steal the Ice Vortex, but he's gonna shatter and get right-clicked down by Goddamn, and another 4, almost 5-man wipe if you consider Envy part of that engagement. And HellRaisers are taking fight after fight after fight, Tralf. It's looking pretty horrible for Cloud9 right now.
It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna get worse though, because they have no real way to not only lock down the Huskar. That's one problem, locking him down so that he can't attack. But then, how do you kill him on top of that? Even if you can lock him down, I don't think they can. I don't think they have enough right-click damage on Shadow Fiend. They would need like a Butterfly, S and Y, maybe Daedalus. Eventually, but he's not getting those items. He's not getting the time and the farm that he needs. But even if he did, like, how do you lock him down outside of a Rubik Lift? You can't. So yeah. I think they're in a really rough spot, and I think this last pick Huskar has been pretty smart here against C9, despite the fact that they had a really good start in the laning phase. I do still agree that it was the right decision to go aggro.
Yeah.
But as soon as the rotations came out, they rotated in with the Phoenix, and then Puck came in with the Coil. The Coil was just so much better than the Supernova.
Yeah. Affinity has made every play to keep them, and actually, keep them ahead in this game. This has been his game right now. Despite everyone else playing pretty well for HellRaisers, Affinity has been making these plays. Dread's gonna get hit up with an Icarus dive, and I think no Fire Spirit actually coming through from both. Ice Blast.
Everyone.
Oh my god, 6 synergy. Dread gets the back into the Ice Blast, which wasn't even necessary. It was gonna hit regardless, but it was damn cool to watch.
I mean, he's hit like every Ice Blast, which is honestly a little bit easier said than done. Like, you have to predict the movements very well of the heroes.
Yeah.
Obviously, with a Coil too to help you out, it can be really nice in team fights. The Darkseer vacuum as well can help you out. And do they have the mech up on Dread? I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah,
he's also got a flank at 1600 gold.
Yeah.
They can just push towers. How are they going to get stopped?
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
This is that a Solar Crest? Yeah. There's going to be oh no, he has a Talisman of Evasion. They don't even need a Solar Crest. Yeah.
Dire's bottom
oh my god, and then what do you do as a Gyrocopter? You can't do magic damage. And your right-click damage, well, you're going to miss half the time. Well, not half, but you know what I mean. Anyways.
Yeah. And I think the Halberds... Oh, well, it's going to be good for Shadow Fiend too, but he did just pick up a BKB. So there's that. I don't even think you have to Halberd the Gyro. His auto attack damage is negligible at this point.
I'm pretty sure we missed that one. Bottom lane, MV's gonna get Winter's Curse. They have Dread nearby the Iron Shell, the right click as well, and MV's just like, please leave me alone. I just want to farm, guys, and I don't know if he's gonna get that opportunity. Call-down's gonna hit. There's the back. That will get the kill. Dread will take significant damage, but gets earned up, and then Guardian Greaves, which he just brought out. By the way, Arman also has a Glimmer Cape. They're getting their items, Tralf. They're getting it done.
Yeah. And we got baited by the courier. There was one, look, it still has low health right now. You can see it. He was so close to killing it, but got the Winter's Curse on him in the last second. Really nice play by RMN. And it does scale nicely in terms of duration. Goes up by 0.5 each level, which is all you need. You just want the more duration. It's fantastic. And yeah, the Halberd is just about completed here for this Huskar.
That's just another item to deal with. They've already got so much. The Glimmer Cape, obviously. The Guardian Greaves coming through. There's even a Dagon for the Puck. He's got great initiation. Fots with BKB, that's going to be one big item that they really need. But like you mentioned, the problem is Envy just doesn't have harm at all. He's got nothing. He got that Helmet of the Dominator, and since then he has been stifled at every turn. But here we go. Vacuum Wall comes in onto 3. They will get the Requiem Wall with Fata. So far, Misery the only one to fall. But Justin going to work. He'll get the Supernova. Medi Armlet toggles, gets back up, looking to fight again. After Ninja on the other side still has the Dagon. No tail. Will get right click down. Justin Noob getting surged forward. They smell blood, and they're going to find Envy. The Illusion Up comes in, and then the jump back in. The Dagon slam down coming in from Half Ninja. See you in the spring in D. 29-16. Another fight going for HellRaisers. And it looks like Trout. This might be their first game to lose or win.
I just don't see in terms of the draft how C9 gets back into this. Maybe they can outplay their opponents here, but I just don't think they have any answers to the Huskar. They didn't shut him down. That's the bottom line. They have no answers to him, and he got the farm he needed. And the biggest thing too is that After Ninja had a great game. He traded a First Blood at the very beginning for the Wisp, which is fine. Comes back to lane, solo kills the Shadow Fiend, which is great. Despite the Darkseer not having the best early game, he's really bounced back in terms of farm.
Yep.
And his combo is really working nicely with his team. Yeah, there's not much more to say about that. Just the fact that HR has a basically unkillable hero right now. And it's always these last picks, right? It's like 5th pick Huskar or 5th pick Broodmother. You know, these kind of heroes that if you have no counters to them, you just lose, right?
Yeah.
It's very, very scary, but it's that's what you have to watch out for in the drafting phase.
Yeah, and you don't think a lot about a Huskar, especially in this patch, but this draft has been solved from HR. This is a huge series. Like Dota Pit, and it's an online tournament, but it's still a lot of money on the line here. Cloud9, of course, like we mentioned, the favorites. This game is not over. They could somehow split up the map just enough for Envy to get, you know, some items, survivability as well as damage is what he needs. So he's got a long way to go, but they're gonna have to make some big plays. And that means not really getting involved in these team fights. They've lost every single one of them since about the 5-minute mark. And now there's going to be added pressure. There's a Solar Crest here on Goddamn, which is even more to deal with. More right-click damage coming up for Justin Noob as well as the evasion, if need be. But I don't know where they go from here, man.
I have to try to remember if Bane was banned out, but I think maybe Bane would have been a bit better than Rubik. I mean, Rubik is still some kind of disabled, but like I said, they need some way to completely lock down the Huskar. And the support that comes to mind is doing that the best is like a Bane. They don't have too many ways to stop his ulti. I guess the Puck Coil and then I guess they have a couple, but yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of going through my head here and thinking about thoughts of how to really shut down this Huskar. What they could have done with the final pick instead of the Rubik. And Bane comes to mind. Maybe a line. Like again, I don't remember exactly what Bane. Anyway, AA Blast comes out. This one doesn't hit. The Vacuum's trying to help him out, but Bata does dodge that.
No. Doesn't have to expend his BKB charge. That's important. So that's good. But they will lose their tier 2 tower top lane. And Cloud9 just can't fight this. And they realize this, they head to the enemy jungle, they farm up, they're going to even push into the tier 2 tower bottom, and if they get this trade, that'd be actually beautiful for them. But the problem is that their tier 3 is being silted. There's an Aegis on a Huskar, just frightening enough as it is. And V's still sitting down towards that bottom tier 2 tower. There's going to be the Sun Ray. Justin Noob, he doesn't really give a damn. He's got his Inner Vitality ready to go. They even have Greaves as well if need be, but they're just going to cold embrace him. They'll lose the tier 2 tower, so that's at least good for Envy, but he's going to have to come back eventually if they want to keep this tier 3 tower. This could be it, man.
AA Blast coming out. It will miss. It's a pretty big thing here for Cloud9. Maybe they can defend with this. He does steal. Okay, nice. He cast the Vortex before. I did forget about this. I totally forgot that Sunray is amazing against Huskar. It's pure damage, and it actually really owns him.
Yeah, as you can see, it's not feeling too good. He gets cold embrace as he was jumping in, but there's going to be the Dream Coil coming through. Batsa's Requiem just pushing them back. Call down. It's going to be on to 3. They get the Guardian Greaves off. Batsa getting hexed up. Dagon comes through as well. He's got his BKB. He's going to have to get it off. He can. He goes down. He does have buyback. Misery gaining Winter's Curse as well. They do tether through, relocate. Going just in his second year from No-Tail back into the fray. They come back in. Justin, his age is finally expended. Batsa, there's a wall. Envy's dead. He's got buyback. He might have to use it. It's 27 minutes in, and they might just get raxed here. Maybe not. HellRaisers, they don't have enough help. They can't stay in the fray. They'll have to back away. Bone 7. Icarus diving. They were looking to turn on that, but they couldn't quite find the initiation. And so they do hold. They'll lose the tier 3 tower. They don't take any racks, but they force out 2 extraordinarily big buybacks from Cloud9.
They don't have to fight here. Their wall is down. Their coil is down. I think they should just go back and farm their lanes. Like, they wasted They can farm their lanes, they can farm entire jungle of Cloud9, they can farm bottom. Alright, they want to keep going.
They want to go, they want to fight.
A mistake.
Justin Noob's going in, Halbert's up on Envy, now getting right-click down, he's getting tethered and IO'd, but not there. They will get the Supernova off bots, it pops the BKB, they lose the Winter Wyvern for HellRaisers, HellRaisers hightailing it out of there, but Justin Noob going to work, man-moding it up. He's just going to be a raid boss, they can't take him down. 27 minutes in, HellRaisers takes the first game in this best of 3 against Cloud9. Oh, Trout, what a game.
Dear Lord, man. Like I said, these 5th pick Huskars are extremely scary when you have absolutely no counters. And the biggest thing, too, keep in mind that they already had the AA picked up, so it's not like, all right, we can pick up the AA in response, so we can't armlet toggle. It was already picked up for them, so not only was it a good pick for them, but it was also a deny pick for Cloud9. So I don't know if that was something that they had foresight of, if they knew that they were going to pick up Huskar the whole time, or if they just looked at the lineup and said, hey, look, Huskar's really good here. They don't have much physical damage. They have no lockdown. He's just going to take over the game. Again, Cloud9 had a very, very good idea about going aggressive, and they started out and it looked like it was going to be a promising aggro tri-lane with a 3-for-0 exchange. But as soon as the puck hit 6, it was actually the same timing that Phoenix went down bottom, but like I said, the coil was just so much better than the Phoenix egg because Phoenix egg gets hard countered by Huskar. So
I think you and I both thought when the Phoenix rotated down there that it was going to be all C9. I didn't even notice FNJ coming in there, and he blew everybody up. It was great.
Well, he even got there, I think, a little bit late. I think it was just the Phoenix egg just died so fast, and maybe they just didn't coordinate their movements very well when they were diving past there, because I feel like they went, like Envy started to go a little bit early before the Phoenix got there, and then he didn't get like full damage on his rocket barrage or something. I don't know, like the positioning just wasn't correct. When he initially went in, nobody really took very much damage, and they were able to turn and just buy time for the puck to get there. So it was just kind of an awkward go. But again, at the same time, Huskar just eliminates the Phoenix problem. That's
a good way of describing it. So HellRaisers get the first victory here. Not one that I think anybody expected, but we'll see if they can take the Series 2 or if Cloud9 will bounce back. There's a lot of money at stake here in this tournament, but we are going to be jumping into a quick break. Before we do go, of course, this is brought to you by High Ground TV. My name is Malt. With me today, of course, is Trelf. You can follow at Trelf Dota, at PimpMunkle, at MaltPacks for the stats, and of course, at PimpMunkle for our production, as well as observing. We do actually have a giveaway for Sapphire graphics cards, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.